the quality of the photos we work with, and also explain a little bit about the difference between digital service providers and digital artists and what we do. Here at Art Paul, I really consider myself a digital artist and a digital painter. I use a Wacom tablet and I paint in paint strokes and smudges and detail that usually is missing from original photographs. Here we have a couple of sheepdogs, and I'm going to blow this up a little bit so you can see what we've got in terms of detail to work with. As I get larger, we'll just look at there's actual pixels. You'll see that it's, and then we look at print size. It's pretty tiny, really. If you get close, you'll see that, I can't even really figure out what's going on with that nose. So if I was a digital service provider, I would rely on filters alone to make this better. So I would go up and I'd go filter. One of my favorite filters is dry brush, and I would just apply a dry brush filter to that. And what happens when you apply a dry brush filter or any kind of filter to an image that is kind of grainy is it's just going to give it a different texture. It's not going to really increase. Okay, here we go. So here we have what we had before, and now it's it's different looking. It's got, I slammed a filter on it. What happens if you're a digital service provider and you're just slamming filters on things, you're not really addressing the issue of detail and trying to make it look like a painting. You're just making it look different. And if you've got a really high quality photo, slamming a filter on it is going to make it look kind of cool. And it's going to give it a neat effect and make it look less like a photograph and more like a piece of art. But it's still not really going to address the issue of, what happens when you don't have a perfect photo to work with. So there's dry brush. We don't like that. So what I have done is I've gone in and I create like a blank layer, and I'm going to show you a clip that I did yesterday. Actually, smudging around. The nose is kind of doesn't have a lot of definition, so I'll probably get a paintbrush, get some black on my brush and try to paint. You could burn in some definition, but you can also just kind of paint in what a doggy's nose looks like from having done a lot of dogs. So just kind of adding some definition. And while I've got my brush open, I might go in and add some brush strokes to the hair. Let me blow that up so you can see what's going on. I have my brush set at only an opacity of like 22. Now, if I were painting with 100%, you'd get some really hard, ugly lines like that. So we'll just do, 14, 22. So I paint these on, and then later I can, there's 28%, that's pretty good. Later I can smudge it. Zoom out a little bit. And we'll pick up some of the cream that's in there, go a little brighter. So I'm just painting on shaggy lines with the paintbrush. Now I'm going to go back to my smudge tool. Now the smudge tool is not set at finger paint, it's just smudging. If I turn the color on it, it will smudge with color on it, but for now we're just going to smudge around. And I probably have about 30 minutes or so still to go on this to get it to where it doesn't look quite so grainy. And so I'll smudge and smudge and smudge until I like what I've got, and then I'll throw dry brush filter on it, and then I'll smudge some more. So it's a real back and forth process, and it can go pretty fast, but you have to cover, the thing that's time consuming is you have to cover every inch of the dog so it's consistent. And normally if I had an eye peeking through, I would enhance that and make it twinkle and make it show a little bit more. But with the Old English sheepdogs, 9 out of 10 photos you're going to see of an Old English sheepdog, there are not going to be any eyes showing. And that's just the breed, so we're not going to worry about that in this situation. With Wheaten Terriers and some of the other shaggy, fluffy breeds, I'll have a little hint of an eye with hair in front of it, but in this case we're just going to do the cousin it thing. Thanks guys for watching this in-progress digital painting of Jack and Lady. I'm Rebecca Collins, and you can see more of my artwork at artpaw.com.